Well, my feeling is excellent. I think the event is getting better by the year. The level of the teams is amazing, really very promising for the future of sports law, and the quality of the organization is second to none. It was really a pleasure to arbitrate and to speak on the panel. And again, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for students to get a real feel of what advocating in sports law is. Yeah, well, again, the level of the teams is extremely high, especially the teams that make it to Madrid. They're all really high quality, so overall they're pretty ready. The tip is just to continue like this. Training is the key. The more you practice, the better you get. And this is a tremendous opportunity to practice. So yeah, continue gaining experience, participating to events like this one.
Well, I would highly encourage anyone who wants to know more and learn more about sports law. And participating in the SAM is amazing because it gives you a practical insight of what happens, at least what happens at CAS, and it's actually a very good experience, and it seems it's very, very close to the reality of what happens there at the Court of Arbitration for Sport.
Yeah, I cannot think of a better way to prepare yourself for the real world than a moot arbitration like SAM. And the level of organization, it's impressive. I have to say that I have participated in other contests and other moot courts, but this one really is impressive. The level of the universities participating, we all can agree that it's incredible. So big challenge. If you want to participate, it's going to be a big challenge, but certainly you will learn a lot.
For me, a very good experience as well as arbitrator, because we are used to act as attorneys. So not very used to at the arbitrator's perspective, and it was also a very good experience for me in that sense. Although I don't think I would change or like to change, at least for now, from the attorney to arbitrators, to arbitrator side. But I would encourage, because it's again a very good experience, and it gives you also a good insight and learn the opportunity to learn and be on the other side.
I fully agree, and on top of that, it's a good way to give back. We all have been learning a lot and have been part also of this world where we have had our mentors, our teachers, and also this is a good part to meet the new generations and try to give back what you took from the previous ones. So I think that is very enriching in many ways. So I certainly encourage other arbitrators and other colleagues to participate. It's very fun on top of that.
Nerve-wracking, to be honest. The level of preparation was so high, quality outstanding. I must say, with my co-panelists, we were a bit nervous, even if it's our day-to-day work. It was all in all amazing to see the level of talent. Well, it's a great, I think, opportunity to give back, if I can put it that way. We're all students at some point, so I think it's amazing to go back and get in touch with those students and also see how the bar has been risen, I believe. Definitely the level was not like that when I was a student, if I can say it that way. Also great networking. It's a great opportunity for everyone. It's really it's a two-way street that way. I think the first tip or first advice, do it. Do moot court. It's a great experience. You'll know if you like it or not. You'll know if you want to dedicate your time to it. Also, as a tip, really grab it. Grab it and understand that there's a difference between textbook and the art of litigating and making clear arguments, and really have fun with it and understand how law is not just about knowledge but also about being persuasive. So this is a great opportunity, but first and foremost, just do it.
What can I say? Great, very nice to be here. It has been a fantastic experience. Arbitrating the final with first colleagues and friends, and also seeing the young generations in action. So the level was fantastic. So really, really, really nice opportunity.
I have to say, this morning, the three arbitrators, we exchanged messages in preparation, and we said we were nervous because these participants, not only the two teams of the finals, but all the participants have an unbelievable level. So it has been a pleasure, yes, but it was also a challenge. So it's not only it's nice, but it was a challenge. But I fully agree with Emilio. Fantastic level, fantastic preparation. So absolutely great experience. I have to say, the first time I read it, I said, "Oh, okay," and then I started to read it a second time, and then a third time. So it doesn't look interesting or difficult at first sight, but it is at second and third level. And even today, preparing the final hearing, we found out some topics. So I have to say, extremely well prepared, extremely well balanced, and absolutely interesting to work with. Yes.
Oh, well, managing doping cases, this is something not very easy, I have to admit. You know, when you are a sports lawyer, you're always looking for the typical contractual dispute or a disciplinary case or an ethics case, financial fair play, particularly disciplinary contractual disputes, no? The FIFA Football Tribunal, a problem with a club and a player. So doping is always a very, very specific area. But I have more or less the same impression than Michele. So in the beginning, I thought, well, it is going to be difficult and maybe a little bit boring, but then the more you read, the more you understand the case, and it has been a real pleasure. The case was super interesting, and I think that obviously the two universities did it very, very well. For me, I think that it's important that you know, who is speaking keeps consistency, and at the same time he or she has the availability to speak and to reflect what she or he is trying to say. So, you know, I like lawyers that they are a little bit expressive and they are able to change the tone during the presentation rather than someone who is always keeping the same tone. And then, you know, after maybe 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, even if you are focused on the case, you are a little bit low. So for me, maybe because I'm Latin, you know, I always like those who are speaking up, trying to convince the panel, persuade the panel with the hands and with the eyes and everything. For me, it's important. But of course, from a technical point of view, consistency and strong legal arguments, being strong on what you are saying is highly relevant.
Of course, I agree. So I say something in addition, convincing. Convincing is, for me, the most important part, which is behind what Emilio already said. And maybe one thing, the fantastic advocate that does things extremely professionally is certainly impressive, but sometimes is not necessarily the best technician that acts, you know, without soul. You did not mention the word soul, but without passion and so on. To convince someone, you have to believe it in what you say. And so just to be a professional instrument is not sufficient. And this is also what we saw in this entire competition. There are some fantastic participants that they were really convinced in what they said, and they said it in a very convincing manner. And to be very clear, you don't need to be to do this in English, you don't need to speak perfectly English. Of course, it is useful or easier if you don't have problem with the language, but it's not a matter of being mother tongue or the son of Shakespeare.
Meeting colleagues from around the world at the panel, and of course the reception cocktail.
The SAM experience was really excellent. It's my second year participating as an arbitrator, and again the level and the caliber of the candidates participating was really remarkable, and I think it's a real testament to the effort that has been put into setting out a very good case structure, the work that has been done by the students from the universities, and I think it's a really good example of preparing yourself well to be ready for a real arbitration situation, because it really is very much like a real arbitration. The topics of anti-doping, which was the subject matter of the case today, is a really complex, complicated one, because not only do you have the sports regulatory aspect, but you also have a necessity to engage with the science behind doping. So it has that extra level of complexity, which again, I was amazed that the students, it's a very specialized area of sports arbitration, and to see that the students were able to get to the level where they can use quite technical, specific scientific terms in their oral arguments was really impressive.
I think the opportunity that the SAM gives to students to get the chance to know more about sports law, this is something that we didn't have, or I didn't have when I was a student back days, to have a sports arbitration moot. This is what I really like about SAM, but of course to connect with my current colleagues and potentially to seeing the student as future colleagues of ours as well in the sports world and arbitration world.